I was taught years ago, you do whatever it takes to have a successful photo shoot. The final images will confirm if you did enough or not. One major part of this is making sure you take the time to plan. My approach to every photo shoot starts with the mood board. For this branding shoot, the client wanted to convey a sense of confidence, professionalism, modernity, style, and relatability. To do this, we chose a studio in Miami, Florida, Wynwood to be exact, that had a minimalistic design and lots of natural light. Her wardrobe needed to be flattering, but also on trend. The makeup style was clean and simple, but enhanced her natural features, and the hairstyle was chosen along those same lines. Everything had to speak to each other. Based on the mood board, I knew what gear I needed to bring with me, and also I made sure to have my assistant there. My typical kit includes the Canon R5 with the EF 24-70 2.8 Profoto B1Xs and my 6-foot reflector. I shoot tethered as often as possible into my 15-inch MacBook Air or into my iPad Pro. I'm a Capture One guy, so when it comes to tethering, it's the only software that I use. With all that planning, you still have to stay flexible because stuff just happens sometimes. For example, on the shoot we're looking at today, the most random issue came up. My strobes would fire without being triggered. I didn't know why. They just were randomly popping off in the middle of me trying to figure out my composition. You think with how much Profoto costs, you wouldn't run into these type of issues, but it is what it is. I feel like at some point I may have damaged it, but I couldn't figure it out at that time. So I immediately went into engineering mode and I started trying to problem solve everything. I went to school for engineering. So I tapped into that mindset of like, okay, how do I figure this out? The first thing I did was Google the issue to see if maybe someone else already ran into this and they already found a solution, but nothing showed up. Then I did the basics that anyone would do, unplug everything. I turned everything off, wiped off the battery contacts in every piece of gear. And then I tried to do like a factory reset on things that I could, but also I didn't have a lot of time, so I'm just trying to do as much as I could in the time that I had, and none of that worked. So how was I able to finish the shoot? Well, I just kept shooting and shooting and shooting, and I would just turn the strobes off when I could. Trying to basically give the strobes and the batteries and all the electricity some time to breathe. And it kind of worked, but didn't work because essentially it stopped misfiring, but then it would start back up again. So it didn't like fully go away, but it got a little bit better at times, and it was enough for me to actually be able to finish the shoot. Once I got home, I did double check everything to see if there's any software updates for the strobe, for the batteries, and for the trigger. I made those updates on those. Also, like thoroughly cleaned off all the contacts with everything just to make sure that that wasn't an issue, and it worked out. So now everything fires with no issues. I wish I had done that prior to going to my shoot, but hindsight is 2020. Back to the shoot itself. So we focused on two looks and moved around the space utilizing the furniture and various backgrounds. We loved the color choices in the space. They were just gorgeous and very, very flattering. The earth tones really spoke to both of us, both of our styles. So like it was a no-brainer for that. When it comes to posing, I have a simple system. I find flattering poses that fit the client and the premise of the shoot. Once the client is comfortable in the pose that I give them, I also provide them with a character or role to play to keep their movements natural. In addition to that, I go through like a mini training session with them to make them more self-aware of their body. Head movements, eye contact, mixing in smiles and not smiling. Some people like doing the ABCs to get different mouth movements. I also like to add in paw in there. It makes people show teeth without having to force it. I like for my models or my subjects to shift their shoulders while they're posing. We keep in mind foot placement, shifting weight between hips, hands in contact with the body, or not. Uh, but we need movement. We need movement there. And then most of all, I always tell them move as if you're being recorded for video. This lets them know not to just sit on one pose. Overall, I was really happy with what we were able to create as a team on this shoot. Everyone bought into the creative direction, and we also gave each other grace as we worked through the ideas and the distractions, because there were just small issues that just came up. But we figured it out. We figured it out, and we had a good time. And like I said at the beginning, you will know if you did enough on the shoot based on the final images. So you guys take a look at the images. Let me know what you think. Did we do enough? I mean, you can always do more, but did we do enough to really convey everything that we talked about earlier? If you believe so, leave a comment below. Leave a like for sure if you're inspired. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I will be putting out more videos soon. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.